Gino, working with passive investors, what does your onboarding process look like for a first-time investor that's looking to invest passively in one of your deals?
So I think everybody out there, they just need to have a simple website. You want to have a simple website. Don't confuse it. We buy multifamily assets that cash flow and create passive income. That's what you want it out there. You want your brand to be simple. You want to have a phone number there, or you want to have an opt-in and maybe a free lead magnet. Maybe 5 steps on passive investors. We have an 8-step due diligence document for passive investing. That's our opt-in, one of our opt-ins, many opt-ins. And what I would say is try to educate, try to create like what you're doing, John. Try to create a lot of information. You want that inbound marketing where people are reaching out to you. If they think it's a good idea to reach out to you, that you've already broached the sales process, you don't have to sell them anymore. It's their idea. As Oren Klaff likes to say in his book, Flip the Script, it's inception. If that idea is theirs and they're signing up to your platform, that's step one. I think step two is you need to get on a phone call and find out what their, goals are, right? On that 8-step due diligence, when you're looking to be a passive investor, you really need to look at the sponsor. You need to look at John Fortes and you need to look at Gino under a microscope. Have they done deals? Are they credible? Are they going to do what they're going to say they're going to do? Though that's really important. But the next component is, as a syndicator, as I'm getting on a phone call with an investor, I want to make sure that our goals align. Does the investor want to, invest for the short term? Do they want to invest for the long term? Do they want to invest in real estate? Right? Do they want to give their money over to somebody, invest passively? Some people are dig jammers, as we like to say in the Jake and Gino community. Damn, I'm good. Just ask me. They don't want to give their money over because they think they can do a better job than you, which is fine. That investor is not going to work for you. So you really have to make sure that your interests are aligned. We're looking for investors right now. We're going to be starting a fund either Q3 or Q4 of this year where we want to buy and hold forever. So for a lot of investors, that may not be the thing, but we know, go back and listen to a podcast we did with Sam Freshman. He's been a syndicator for over 50 years. 2 of his biggest mistakes. Number 1, not buying enough. And number 2, selling too soon. So we want to create generational wealth. So when John invests with us and John passes away, hopefully John's kids will have the asset. That asset will be paid down, will be paid off, and it'll continue to appreciate in value and continue to cash flow. That is the long-term model of multifamily, and that's how people get really wealthy. Transactions pay the bills, and equity makes you rich. I think that's the hardest thing for Americans and for entrepreneurs to understand because it's the quick, shiny buck. Stay in your lane and don't worry about it. You can make 50 grand or 100 grand of this deal because if you hold it longer term, you take the tax benefits, you let the residents pay down the mortgage, you're going to become so much more wealthier. But that's a long-term strategy, and we're so used to instant gratification in society, and you can see what's going on. It's hard. It's very difficult to do that. The first couple of years we were in multifamily, we didn't make a lot of money. We had full-time jobs. And it took a few years to get a lot of traction. Most people quit before then. But I'll tell everybody out there, Jim Quick says it in his book, reasons reap rewards. You need to have enough reasons in your life for this to work. Even as a passive investor, I think everyone out there, ask themselves a question. Are you out there? Do you have enough money saved for retirement? Do you have enough passive income coming in? If the question is no, I don't think the stock market's the place to be honest with you. It's up and down. There's no rhyme. There's no reason. You have no leverage ability and you have no control in the stock market. Multifamily gives you so many of those benefits. And I think if you're out there and being honest with yourself, I think you should really give multifamily a good look.
Oh man, I think that's so beautiful because everything you just said resonated with me, and that's why I jumped into it. I believed in real estate because I saw the value in my personal home and how it increased as as me and my wife were doing little side projects and getting it appraised, and you see the appreciation. So the forced appreciation through things we've done, now multiply that and scale it on an apartment asset. I love that. I'm wishing you tons of luck with that fund that you're about to create. That's awesome, Gino.
And John, let's just touch real quick. I just want everyone to understand what's going on with the shift in the United States right now. You have a massive shift of migration. It's been happening. Now, with what's going on with the pandemic, not all real estate everywhere in the United States is going to appreciate. You have a lot of states that are blue, and this is not politics. This is just policy. They are leaving. And unfortunately, most of them are democratically controlled. Don't know why that is. Maybe it's the policies, but they're leaving those states because they're highly taxed, they're highly regulated, and they're coming to the Southeast. They're coming to Arizona. They're going to Boise, Idaho. They're going to North Carolina. They're going to all these places. see where the migration is. And that works really well with multifamily because almost 150 million people in this country, they're millennials and they're baby boomers. And what are they doing? They are renting, and there's not enough affordable housing in this country. And it's so much easier to rent nowadays. People know that intuitively that when you buy a house, it's great. You're going to hold it for the long term, but is it really an asset or is it a liability? When you're a millennial, you buy a house, you put 10% down, you're paying down the principal, but at the end of the year, your AC breaks. You got to fix your refrigerator. You got to fix the driveway. Is it real? Are you really making money? I don't know. And the other thing is, let's say you find a job somewhere else, somewhere part of the city, a state, or you have to move. You can't give the keys back. It's such a luxury right now to be a renter. And you can see, John, also what's going on. People are working from their home, so they don't have to live anywhere. They can pick up and live wherever they want. So to me, all of these benefits, align really well with multifamily. And it's still right now, as the recession is going on, it's harder to buy a home. You can't qualify. People don't have the money to put for a down payment. So what does that make it? It makes it an even bigger pool of people who need to rent apartments.